Mary has fallen asleep in New York, and she's dreaming that she's Mark in Burlingame. Mark's mind is a limiting of Mary's mind. It is a temporary limitation of Mary's mind, which enables Mary to know Burlingame. So from Mark's point of view, part of his experience, his thoughts and feelings, seem to take place on the inside of him. And another part of his experience, called the world, seems to take place outside of him. That is true from the point of view of Mark. Mark notices that when he closes his eyes, Burlingame disappears. When he opens his eyes again, Burlingame reappears. So Mark reasonably concludes that whatever it is that is knowing his experience, in other words, his mind, must live just behind his eyes. Every time he closes his eyes, the world disappears. So Mark thinks, my mind is looking out through my eyes at the world, therefore my mind must be contained in my head. But Mark's mind, and everything that seems to take place inside it, and everything that seems to take place outside it, all take place in Mary's indivisible mind. Now substitute Mary for infinite consciousness. In indivisible, infinite consciousness is freely assuming the form of each of our minds now. Each of our minds is a dream in the mind with a capital N, in the infinite, indivisible consciousness. In other words, each of our minds is the agency, not the entity, the agency or the activity through which consciousness is able to realize a segment of its infinite potential. Consciousness looks through each of our finite minds and sees itself as the world. This is what the Sufis mean when they say there is only God's face. Infinite consciousness is freely assuming the form of the finite mind, and through the agency of the finite mind is seeing itself as the world. That is why William Blake said, when the doors of perception are cleansed, everything will appear to man as it is, infinite. The doors of perception are the limited view of Mark's mind. William Blake is saying, if Mark's mind recognizes its true nature, then what he sees will be relieved of the limitations that his mind superimposes upon it. And all of this will appear not as a multiplicity of